Highland Regiment in the country. The Black Watch Royal Highland Regiment of Canada was established here in Montreal. Among its ranks during the Great War, some of the city's, if not the country's, most prominent citizens. CPAC takes a look at the history of the Black Watch, its impact during World War I, and its lasting legacy here at home and around the world. They fought in one of the most pivotal battles of the First World War, the Second Battle of Ypres, when the Germans unleashed the world's first poison gas attack on April 22, 1915.
That is where the Germans first used the gas on the Allies. It was at that point that Lance Corporal Frederick Fisher, he was the first Canadian to be awarded the Victoria Cross.
Frederick Fisher of St. Catharines, Ontario, was awarded Canada's highest military honor. He did not survive to wear the Victoria Cross. A Lance Corporal in the 13th Battalion Canadian Expeditionary Force, the 20-year-old was one of thousands who served with the Black Watch. At the Black Watch Armory in Montreal, where soldiers like Frederick Fisher enlisted, we meet Colonel Bruce Bolton. He notes some of the city's most prominent business leaders were among the ranks, serving mainly as officers during the First World War.
We've had the Molsons, the Ogilvies, the Hutchisons, the Redpaths, the Burkes go through this regiment.
And when they returned from the battlefield, these business leaders looked after their comrades.
When they came back, it was not a matter of the war's over and we'll forget about the people. In a lot of cases, these businessmen made sure that soldiers that came back had jobs to go to.
Other prominent recruits included the Drummonds, the Cantleys, McClellans, and McQuaigs.
There was a strong Scottish presence. There was a strong business presence. So if the Black Watch was located in any other city in Canada, I'm not sure if it would have attained the same stature that it did, because Montreal at the time was basically the business capital of Canada.
Mike Scheer, archivist with the Black Watch Museum and Archives, notes the makeup of the regiment reflected the social structure in the city at the time.
They were the bankers, stockbrokers, businessmen. They were basically the heart or the driving force of the regiment in World War I and pre-World War I. I don't know if you'd see that today, where you'd see presidents of companies going to serve overseas with the troops, but that's what happened in 1914.
Colonel Bolton, a former Black Watch commander who retired in 2005, highlights the regiment's origins.
The Highland Regiment perpetuates those Scottish regiments that wore kilts and had bagpipes and drums in the British Army. Scots were known to be ferocious. So in Montreal, for example, when the Scottish community looked around after the British Army was withdrawing, they said, we need a Highland Regiment. And that was the birth of the Black Watch in 1862.
This is a uniform that would have been worn by a Black Watch soldier overseas in the battlefield during the First World War.
Kilts on the battlefield. Kilts
on the battlefield. This would have been worn winter and summer.
And they were fighting a different kind of war back then.
The terror of war was a bit more organized back in World War I. Now, with the way we're fighting, it is, to some extent, chaos. It is really a much more individual battlefield than having thousands of men get out of a trench and move forward into no man's land.
Colonel Bolton remarks how modern military battles have changed dramatically.
35 years in the regiment means that I've seen a lot, but I haven't seen the terror that some of our young soldiers have seen now that they've been to Afghanistan and then before that Bosnia and Croatia.
The Montreal Regiment, the last Black Watch battalion in existence, is proud of its history and focused on the next generation.
Every one of those soldiers that has ever worn a Black Watch kilt and ever served in this regiment, we're doing it for Canada. It's true loyalty and patriotism. We have fought through all the major crises in Canada. And right now, as a reserve unit, we have soldiers training to be deployed anywhere in the world as needed.
Today, members of the Black Watch uphold the exemplary service and sacrifice of those who came before them. Reporting from Montreal, Quebec, I'm Heather Seaman.